made you look. Everything's fine. And to prevent any crash outs like that, if you want everything to be completely fine, these are 5 more mistakes you need to avoid. Mistake number 1. People are not asking for help. You have to ask for help. In fact, the other 4 mistakes afterwards hinges on the fact that you don't ask for help, or basically it snowballs out of control to the other 4 mistakes. It's actually incredible how fast it snowballs. A hobby is nice. The community is very nice and welcoming. It is the nature of a lot of niche communities to be nicer than other communities, like Star Wars, for example. Star Wars, people are nice in Star Wars, but nothing hates, or there's no one that hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. The hobby itself, wide range, and one thing is common between the wide range of hobbies, from Gundam to Warhammer to Tamiya, the fandom, right, is that they are all very nice. It's very rare to find someone who's extremely salty, extremely elitist. You will find them, you'll eventually run into them, but they're few and far between. Mistake number 2, not thinning your paints. Listen to Duncan Rhodes. 2 thin coats. Yes, it's a brand, but it is also a meme. And it's a meme for a very good reason. It's the reason, this meme is the reason, aside obviously from his amazing paint jobs on minis, it's the reason why he became famous and viral. He kept saying 2 thin coats, 2 thin coats. The reason for that is simple. The more coats of paint you apply, the kinda worse your model becomes, up until a certain point, of course. That's why 2 thin coats is very important. From priming, 2 thin coats, main color, 2 thin coats, detailing, 2 thin coats, weathering, 2 thin coats. You never want to paint directly out of the bottle. That is one of the biggest mistakes, right? Thin your paints, please. Duncan Rhodes will haunt you in your sleep if you don't thin your paints. Let me show you an example. So this here is concentrated out the bottle painting, and one you should avoid. This is straight out of the bottle, no thinning, and look how thick and goopy it is. Oh yeah. Basically, the more layers of this stuff you apply, even thinned, the more covered the details that are built into the model become, and they will not be visible. And your model looks like it got caked on with makeup. It looks terrible. So this is something you should avoid. So what about the opposite side? What if I thin it too much? How will I know even if it's thin too much? See, that's concentrate out the bottle. But this is pure water, this puddle here. Let me add a bit more actually. And then let's mix it. This is a comical amount of water, but you'll get my meaning. So you mix that and see how thin this is? It's like receding. Look at that. It's receding. It's like there's a tsunami incoming. This is not what you should be going for. This is borderline thinned down with thinners. This is also not good, as it will be a terrible experience to paint. There wouldn't be much adhesion. Sorry, I can't talk today. Because it's so thinned out. You'll find that you'll need to apply more and more layers. So you'll end up with the same problem. You get frustrated, brushstrokes start appearing, and you'll find that with each layer, you'll still covering the details just over the course of 7 to 9 layers. So this is something you need to avoid, but on the opposite spectrum. So this right here is a good ratio. See that puddle versus the concentrated paint? That's it. This is the smooth. See how smoothly? Oh, look at that. That's it. This is what you're looking for. It's still receding because it is thinned down, but it isn't as runny as the previous one. And if we apply it to a primed mini, see, it's still going on, and it coats it nicely. Whereas this, see how quickly it receded in the middle there? Perfectly thinned, too thin. Mistake number 3, not checking scale mates. You wouldn't know this website if you are a beginner and you've never asked for help. Basically, think of this as the Wikipedia of model kits. Basically, every model under the sun, including Warhammer and D&D kits, are on this website. So let's take this Porsche 911 GT3, a brand new kit, for example. So it has everything from specifications to the box contents, and this is what you're looking for, the product timeline. Obviously, this is a brand new kit, so the timeline says 2024. But what if you're looking for an older kit? So here we are, right? An older kit. This is the HIMARS from Trumpeter, right? So again, description, facts about the kit, measurements, whatnot, scale, right? And then you'll find that the timeline is populated for older kits, right? And it's easy to take a look at what you're looking at. So let's say this is the box in hand that you have, that you bought in the store or got delivered to you. So how can you tell? Look at the timeline. This means that according to the box art, you have the kit that has new parts. And that's the important part about ScaleMates, this timeline. You're either looking for two things in the timeline: new tools or new parts. New tools means new tooling means that basically the kit got a major overhaul, right, in terms of its build and whatnot. New parts means it retained a lot, or 99% of the build that it had in a previous edition, right? But it comes with additional parts, new parts, right? If it says new box, kind of avoid it, because if the previous edition that you wouldn't know of if you didn't know the site had mistakes, if it says new box, it means only the box art got changed. Maybe it got modernized, new languages were added, right, etc., etc., warning labels, right? So now you know to stay away stay away from kits that are older, specifically ones that says new box, or even worse, it just says 2010 or something, and then every single edition is literally just new box. That's the worst. So stay away from that. Very important, especially for QA, especially for older AMT kits. AMT, Airfix, Revell, sometimes Italeri. So those four, if their kits are older than 2010, I would caution you. Look at ScaleMates, right? Check to see if they're older than that, and if they've received new tooling or even new parts, new decals. New decals would actually say new photo etch, right? They would have an instruction manual if you lose your instruction manual or you got it secondhand. And then, of course, the places that carry it. If we carry the model, we would be on this marketplace listing as well. Mistake number 4, being burnt out. And what do I mean by that? The easiest and fastest way to burn yourself out is buying too many kits at once. That specific burnout, that's the one I'm talking about, where you pile on and pile on and pile on. So see these two piles of kits, or two kits stacked on top of each other? This can very easily transform into 5, 7, 12. In fact, I kind of bragged about my, I would say, 30 kit, 40 kit deep stack at home to one regular, and the regular just goes, "Bro, Paul, did you just start the hobby yesterday?" Implying he has 100, 200 kits. And you never get to touch even a fraction of it. Never burn yourself out. This is a specific kind of burnout, an overwhelming burnout. Plenty of experiences. In fact, all of 2022 and 2023, I basically skipped the hobby because every time I went to the basement in my house, the stack of kits is just so intimidating, an overwhelming presence made up of debt and money and plastic. It's an important tip that people often forget. The number one mistake is to have fun. Paint whatever is the coolest. Worse than going home, starting to build a kit, starting to paint it, and realizing halfway through that you don't like what you're doing, and then you never finish. This is a different burnout from the previous tip. Paint whatever is the coolest, whatever, don't go for the most popular. For Space Marines, for Warhammer, it is Space Marines. For model kits, at least the mainstream, it would be Tamiya. So don't focus on that. Focus on, oh, that's an F-35. I'm going to build it. Doesn't matter if it's Airfix, Italeri, Just build it. Just build it. Right? Doesn't matter what brand. Just focus on whatever you think is the coolest. Because at the end of the day, you'll never enjoy something, right, that you hate. Yeah, that's just not a thing. You love what you love, you hate what you hate. And look at this. Never thought I would enjoy not building, the house was already built, but weathering, right, this house until I was asked to do so. And I asked David, what do you need me to do? And we interacted, right? And it's like, Paul, well, I need you, I'm going to apply the clay, David said, and then you're going to put snow on top to sell the fact that the clay is snow, you know, all etc. And then I added feedback. So, well, what if I added snow on the steps, for example, right? To make it look like it was just recently shoveled, but someone went up and down still, right? So, you know, we communicated, we asked, and we wouldn't have known that if I didn't talk to him. I just proceeded to do my own thing. I would have hated the experience, but now I enjoy this little guy, right? It's not done, but we will get there because we communicated. So yeah, it for me today, and it's probably going to be it for me for the rest of the year. If I don't see you guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'll see you guys in January. Bigger, better things to come. The studio is not even done, but we're gonna soundproof it more. We're gonna have an additional table here that's longer. I'm signaling here, like, you know, gesturing. It's gonna be an L shaped, so we have a photo thing, a bigger table, right? Macro lights and whatnot. So yeah, expect more from the social media team. Me and David will have bigger and better things in 2025. Look forward to that. Again, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Follow us on social media. We're very active on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Follow us there, and obviously YouTube. All right, guys. Bye-bye.